earned yearly with time, sweat, and dedication. This week, 50 players will gain entry into this exclusive fellowship. The top 25 from the regular season have already secured their spots, and another 25 spots are up for grabs here this week. Some dreams will be realized. Others will have to wait another day. Who will be next to join the likes of Jason Duffner? EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Getting set now for first round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. And Frank, this is always a pressure-packed environment.
It is, but also a chance to see the raw talent that'll be on display for many a year. And at this tender stage, these players are powerful, talented, and often brilliant.
All set to go. We take you to the first hole. Stepping up to the first tee, Frank, what are some keys to be thinking about at this point?
Really got to pick a decent target. Really focus in on that. Don't really worry about left and right. Nice, good full swing. Slow, if anything, off the first tee.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Frank, what's the best way to get at this first hole?
Ideally, you want to go with a short iron. Makes it easier to keep the ball on the right level.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Clean this up with a tap. And with that par, moving into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Frank, what do you make of the par 5 second?
Doglegs to the left, so there's a decision to be made here all the time, but a good hooking tee shot, that takes the trees on the left out of play, and even the rough on the right. Good tee shot here. I've seen people get home with as little as a 5 iron.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, we're really watching the next generation of PGA Tour stars, aren't we?
Yeah, this player in particular, Rich, amateur pedigree, already a winner of the NCAAs, and I've always thought that success early on is a predictor, really, of talent long term, and this player has all the tools.
Third shot coming up at this par 5, still a good chance to make birdie.
Yeah, just make sure you have the right number and the right club.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
And so just getting started. Even par so far. Now the par 3 third.
Not overly long, but 2 is a rarity here. Difficult green, and you don't see a lot of tee shots actually finish close here for some unknown reason.
That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That birdie gets the player to red figures, 1 under for the tournament. And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Frank, this approach shot here at the fourth is not a long one, but it could end up disastrous.
It can. You have to be very aware of where these mounds are on this green.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. No damage done, made the par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the second shot at the par 4. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Ooh, inexcusable.
So a tester from 4 feet. That is a solid par putt right there. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Nothing wrong with that one. Only about 15 feet away and a chance for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention. Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game. Even par currently.
Just misses.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
It's no snack though.
Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? He didn't go past and miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that positive attitude.
Frank, now at the 9th, this really is one of my favorite par 5s in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing a par 5, Frank, what happened on that third shot?
Yeah, it was a poor decision. But well, hopefully he can eradicate that from the memory banks and really knuckle down on this. Do not want to drop a shot or make 6 here.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And, Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. We are into the third round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs. Dreams about to be made.
It's amazing what's ahead of these young players, Rich. Not just getting through the next 2 rounds, but also trying to suppress perhaps what might be for them next year.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, so much focus on the back 9 here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass on the 17th hole with the island green. I think 13 gets lost sometimes, but the pros know this is a really good hole.
Oh, it can be disastrous too. That's, I think, what you're referring to, Rich. There's a big ridge in the middle of this green that bisects the top side with the bottom side on the left. So even when the flag's on the left, you don't have to go directly at it, because that normally causes the problem with the wooden bulkheads down the left side and obviously the water left of that. So something on the ridge can often run down towards the left. But we have seen the odd hole-in-one here over the years.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. All right, Frank, this one gets everybody's attention. The 14th, 481 yards, par 4.
It's not just the length of this hole. Water down the left, mounds to the right. This is it. You've got to buckle up here. Tee it up. This has to be your best swing.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag.
Second shot.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Not a gimme, but well within his range.
That looked like it nearly got below the lip, the level of the lip there.
Can't believe that one, Frank. That was a complete horseshoe right there. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it. Well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's 2 little pop bunkers out on the right that, if your first time around, you might notice.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Don't leave it short. Wow. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. And that's in for a par. Frank, you've been there at so many tournaments around the world. 1 round to go, a chance to win. What's that feeling like?
Oh, this is the fun part, knowing whether or not your body can handle the situation. You've got to push it to the limit. But that's what sport and golf is all about. Trying to do something that you've dreamed of for so long.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich. There's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Well read.
Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is too close. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Really good distance control there. Playing well to his strengths. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was in.
Did the job right there. Frank, a couple different ways to watch golf as a fan. You could follow your favorite player for a number of holes, or you can park yourself in one spot. I think one of the better ones is the hill behind the 17th at TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, and that's why the reaction of the fans is so different. If you followed that player the whole way around, you've lived and died on every shot he's hit. Meanwhile, if you're stuck at a hole, you know, you want to see some tragedy, you want to see some great shots, and consequently you get that divergence of different type of fan.
I'll tell you what, Phil the Thrill, Phil Mickelson could not have done it any better. What a bunker shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. And he makes it for a bogey here. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Solid play, heart of the green. Wow, I thought he made that. That's costly right there.
Painful.
He's putting for bogey now.
Comfortably knocks it in.
That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time. Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Our featured golfer is already 5 holes in. Let's take you out now to the 6th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt. I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Still playing even for the day after the par. Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
Yeah, it's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
That was well done, and now a very short putt to get out of here with a bogey.
Well, it could be a lot worse, that's for sure. 5 minutes ago.
Just a shade over par, +1. 555-yard par 5 eighth hole. Frank, is this a two-shotter or a three-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk. Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
And he's made it onto the green now. Getting set now over the putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game.
These putts keep the round together. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey.
It went from bad to worse, and right now, horrible.
What do they say, Frank? Golf spelled backwards is
flog.
Flog. Frank, again, this would appear to be a pretty good scoring opportunity.
This is so much about getting the distance right here. Bunkers on the left, there's the water to carry, that's needless to say, but also the mounding that's just behind the screen and to the right. It's very easy to just take the trouble out of play in the front and then find the trouble behind the screen. So second shot, judging the distance, imperative here.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can dip.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11th at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. If you hit it far enough down there, you can get close to this green. But if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long. Second shot.
Frank, what's involved here in the third shot now at the par 5 11?
Just really setting up a good angle for that third shot. This is, when you lay up, it always pays just to check where the flag is. You want to sort of have a nice, comfortable look or angle to the flag. Should be safely on deck.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Wow, I thought that was in. So just a formality here. Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today it's live second round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
So a tester from 4 feet. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. It just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, you just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Frank, this is obviously a green light situation.
It is, because of the tee shot. A smart layup here gives you the chance to go straight at this flag.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Looks like he just misread that. This one just requires a little bit of focus. He's made it. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a 3-shotter like it is for everybody else.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot.
Now the approach shot here on this par 5/8.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Good putt. Frank, the ninth hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards. Then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward. Well, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. In for par. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And we are back at PGA West, getting set to continue the action on the back nine. Beautiful hole here. Rock border that lines the water here at number 10. It's 416 yards. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Now the second shot here at 10. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Continuing to putt with confidence.
Well, early exit for one of what I thought Rich was going to be the favorite, but their week's over.
Numbers don't lie in this case, in this sport, and now a missed cut. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live third round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Good tee shot right in the short grass. So short iron in hand now at the par 4-7. Good opportunity to make a birdie.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach giving him another good look.
Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. 555-yard par 5 eighth hole. Frank, is this a two-shotter or a three-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frank going for two in a row now. Has the birdie, now at 1 under par for the tournament.
Frank, the ninth hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Getting set now over the putt.
A lip out's fine as long as it doesn't happen to you.
Did the job right there.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, continuing at PGA West in the Career Builder Challenge. We're on the back 9 now. Hole number 10 is 416 yards, a medium length par 4. But again, the player has to deal with water.
It is. This is a double dog leg, really. And if you don't get the ball in the fairway, you're going to kick yourself.
Frank, is this a definite green light, the approach at the par 4 10th?
Well, there's enough opportunities at PGA West for the long hitters. This is an opportunity for the really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to shine, because a good iron player will give himself a birdie putt here. A poor iron player here, all of a sudden they'll find trouble.
Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament.
3 rounds in the books, outside the top 10 going to the final 18. Frank, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're going to have to approach the final round in a couple of different phases. Try and be aggressive early on. If you do get a few birdies in the bank, you really still can fancy yourself with a chance to win. It'll all depend on that start tomorrow.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live final round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge.
Beautiful looking shot right here. This is position A, right in the fairway, and 180 yards to go. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. So a chance for birdie
after another solid approach shot. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, and that's a big hit to get past that, and all of a sudden, shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt.
You'd like that one again.
He'd settle for par here. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Well, well, well. Here we are at the famous Alcatraz. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit, but that's irrelevant now. Let's see if he can get it up and down.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation. Really solid stroke.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long. Water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's 3 groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3 wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
On the green in regulation. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going. Keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.